I'm Peter Brusso, and today's podcast, number 72, we're going to learn all about smart kitchens. And Frank's got a great twin on an incredible woman who went to the Naval Academy. I'll tell you that much. Then Dick comes to a revelation for entrepreneurs in our last section. So hang on, we're starting it right now. Hi, I'm Peter Brusso with 101smallbusinessmastermind.com, and with us on Zoom here again. Say good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Dick.
And say good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Dick.
My illustrious podcasters. Okay, so today I'm going to share some stuff. I don't have a ton of stuff, but I do have some, and I want to get over here to do that. Share my screen. So let me know when you got my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the ingredients to a smart kitchen? They're actually looking to put in, well, they have ovens, so you can actually, a smart oven, so you can actually see the food cooking instead of opening the door to see if it's done yet or not. Isn't that crazy?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. And one of the better ones I thought was a Wi-Fi a refrigerator. This one tells you when stuff is starting to go bad. So it can actually save you money by, you think you have it's okay, and you go to use it and you find out it's already gone bad, you throw it out. So this one actually starts to tell you when things are going to go bad, I guess days ahead of time or whatever, so you can meal plan a little separately. Plus, I guess you can make a shopping list and send it to your phone. So,
Holy cow!
Yeah, they really got some cool stuff. There's a microwave, but at any rate, they will even suggest, if you tell them the food, they'll suggest what temperatures and everything to put in there and how long. So it's just like throw the food in there, identify it, push a button. It's just coming down to some crazy stuff, and then this is the great one here now, since we're in the food. More restaurants can sign up for Uber's delivery service. Uber drivers can now, if a delivery, let me see, if a person wants some food from Charlie Maroney's and he's signed up with the Uber delivery service, they can make it. The Uber guy will pick it up and take it to wherever the person was that ordered it. Imagine that.
Really?
Yes. Yes, they are really thinking out of the box, and he says, it also says in here, items that have to travel a long distance, might melt or wilt, so they've got to make sure that that the distance from the Uber driver is going to have to drive is within the non-melt or non-wilt of products, but pretty cool.
Now, is this up and running any place?
Yes, it's running only in 3 places right now: San Francisco, New York City, I think, and Dallas. Oh no, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York.
Isn't that clever?
Yeah, and but I thought that was pretty clever myself. Now, here's, and of course now, here's. Let me click this one off, so this will move everybody over here. All right, here's the next one. Well, this is really interesting. It's a new app. So you sign up for this new app and you put your contacts in there, and this app can tell when a person can take a telephone call or not. If you're already, it can tell whether you're on vibrate, silent, or low battery from your contact. So if you wanted to call me, but you saw I was on the phone, this app will say, no, we've got to wait till he gets off the phone to call him. So this app came out of Israel. As a matter of fact, it has both Android and iOS. They're launching today for both of them. But I mean, this is like cutting edge stuff here. But what they're trying to solve here, attempts to solve the problem by letting you know in advance of dialing whether it is correct or not, and so anyway, there's somebody.
That sounds like a great tool for telemarketers.
Oh, well, yes, probably, but on the flip side, I think it's kind of a neat thing, especially, if you're trying to get to somebody that's a decision maker, And you call them and they're in the middle of a meeting and you interrupt them and, that's rude and you didn't know it. And,
Right,
this
right.
would allow you to catch people at the best times to discuss stuff.
Does the person at the end of the call have to have this app also?
I don't know, Dick. I suspect not. All it's doing here is it's accessing the telephone circuitry or a smartphone and querying it, which is kind of creepy in a way. But
Well, yeah, it is. And, I can understand how they could send the person on the phone, but how would it know I'm in a meeting?
usually when you are in a meeting, you set your stuff to vibrate or silent.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what they were saying. That's how they might be in a meeting. So anyway, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then finally, well, not finally, I got a couple more here, but we have the marketers are going to implement a buy button now on Facebook and even in emails that have ads, for example, right? So the way Facebook has worked in the past, you can't buy right off the thing. You have to click on the ad, and the ad takes you somewhere else, and then you finally get to that place to buy. So getting a buy button installed into Facebook is going to be a big thing for people, especially people that sell stuff like us. It'll be a really good thing. So I thought that was worth noting.
So that buy button goes right to your shopping cart or to your website?
Yeah, well, the buy button, they show a button on a keypad here.
Yeah.
But, if you saw an ad on Facebook, which you see quite a bit, but there would be, I want to buy that right now. Click the buy button.
Impulse.
Yeah, it's Impulse.
That goes along with what we were talking about last week with the with Google and all, where they're developing programs that you don't ever have to leave Facebook.
Right.
Something this goes right, that dovetails right with it.
Yep. So I thought that was worth noting. Another one, I first read this and what the heck? Food waste smart meter, Winnow bags 3.3 million in funding. So what is this food waste smart thing? Well, these guys have created a way to track wasted food in restaurants. Now, the chefs usually do it anyway. They do it by pad and pencil to a large extent, right? But these actually have a meter. You throw the food away the same way, but you select what it is, and it weighs it, and it calculates how much you're throwing in the trash, right? And so by using the system, they had a 30 to 60% uplift in food profitability.
Yeah, that's a great tool.
Oh boy! At first, I just didn't think a whole lot of it, but and they've got 20 or 30 places that they've been running this with to see, But I thought, man, that's smart because with so many people starving in the world, and we throw so much food away, what the heck, But here's again an app. That's essentially a smart thing going in.
Yeah. The thing of it is, Peter, you own or manage a restaurant. I mean, you can, increase the accuracy of the amount of food, any one item you order, based upon, say, a two week, say, geez, I've noticed over the last 2 weeks, I'm throwing away 30% of the carrots I order. Really, that's a great tool for a restaurant manager.
Yeah, it says here they're throwing less food away, basically.
Sure.
Yes, there's money in those rotten vegetables.
That's big.
I need to send this over to Gary, I guess.
Yeah.
And then my final one is, and I thought this is really apropos for our clients or the people that listen to this. If you're a startup, here's a roadmap for pitching your startup. And so each one of these headlines here, there are many ways to pitch venture capitalists, and the business models don't matter as much in the earlier stage. Entrepreneurs must be evangelists for their product. I guess these people really look very closely at how excited the entrepreneur is, pitching his product. And then the most important slide in the pitch deck is the why card. Why should anybody care about this? What does it solve? That kind of stuff, which is important. And a Q&A, be prepared for the why now questions. And then what happens when the entrepreneur leaves the room, the post-game review process begins. And so they talk a little bit about what you want to leave behind, so to speak, for them to be whiteboarding the positives and the negatives. And excuse me, I'll have this up on the site. But isn't that an interesting little tidbit here?
Very.
All right. Any questions on that?
Nope, nothing.
All right, we'll get that up and going. Okay, so now I believe it's the time.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Well, our sound effects, we're just getting so fancy these days.
There you go. Film editing and sound effects. It's time for the twin. This week in the news. Business lessons we can get from people who are making news. And this week's twin is Lonnie Hay, Lonnie Hay, H-A-Y. Thank you for the small business lesson. And the question over is?
Who is Lonnie Hay?
I'm glad you asked. Well, in 1975, Lonnie's parents escaped, and the key word is escaped, Saigon 2 days before it fell. So they just made it out of there. And it took them 2 months to eventually get to Manassas, Virginia. I don't know if it was Manassas, in the Virginia area. And Lonnie was born 2 weeks later.
Wow.
Okay, so she just made it being born in America as opposed to being born in war-torn Saigon. And Lanny mentioned how she remembers as a child, there were always a lot of cots and mattresses because they shared whatever housing they had with fellow countrymen, if you will, the Vietnamese, just to try to help each other out. So Lonnie did not come from money. She attended public schools, but she had big dreams. And here's what Lonnie's dream was when she was a child. She wanted to be an F-18 pilot in the Navy. How you get to there as a young lady from Vietnamese parents in school, I don't know. But that was her dream. So she says, you know what? If I could attend the Naval Academy,
Hi, my name is Lonnie Hay. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of LMT, and I'm a proud Navy veteran. Military service is a tradition in my family, and when I was little, every summer my father would take the kids to watch air shows down in Patuxent River, Maryland. And I remember watching the Blue Angels fly and dreamt of someday becoming a Blue Angels pilot. I went into the Navy when I was 17 via the Naval Academy. And then I served on active duty for 5 years as a Naval Intelligence Officer and in the Individual Ready Reserves for 3 more years. Being a part of a winning team is what I'm most proud of. During my 2 years with my operational unit, we won the Battle E, which is awarded to the unit with the highest state of battle readiness. My squadron was made up of some of the most professional, focused, and dedicated personnel that worked together as a team. And we adopted a work hard, play hard mentality, but always in that order. Some of the best mentors that I had on a day-to-day basis were the senior enlisted Navy chiefs and Marine Corps gunnery sergeants that I came across early in my career. The Navy was absolutely instrumental in instilling a sense of confidence in me. They place so much responsibility on individuals at such a young age, and with that safety net of knowing that you're surrounded by people that will help you see that you won't fail. And that confidence has basically instilled a sense of confidence in me to continue to achieve in the civilian sector. My military service gave me an understanding of how the Department of Defense is structured and gave me the technical skills to build a business where I could continue supporting our national security interest in the civilian sector. The business that I started is so deeply connected to supporting the Department of Defense. It still makes me feel like I'm a part of the team without being in the military on a day-to-day basis. I mentor young women who are considering the military as a future career, women who are thinking of attending one of the service academies, or want to join via the Officer Candidate School. What I would tell potential sailors is that there's nothing more rewarding than serving your country alongside the brightest people this country has to offer. We have the #1 military in the world, and it was a privilege to have the opportunity to be a part of that team.
If you're going to dream, why not, right? If I'm going to Academy. That'd be a way to serve my country. Now she was an American, right? All of a sudden, because she was born here, she was an American. I could get a great education, which Navy Academy does, and then I could become a pilot. She says, but I don't want to be just any pilot. I want to be a Blue Angels pilot. Oh, so the kid had dreams. The kid had dreams. Okay. However, Lanny got into the Naval Academy, which was obviously her first goal, but she got stung by a bee and had an allergic reaction to bee stings, and it caused Lanny to rethink her childhood dream of becoming a fighter pilot. She was disqualified from the pilot program at the Naval Academy. I don't know how those two coincide, but there was something they said, oh, Lonnie, you can't be a pilot. So she was commissioned as a Naval Intelligence Officer out of the Naval Academy. So Lonnie served her time in Operation Desert Fox and Operation Southern Watch. And she was, she came under fire in some of her missions, again, as an intelligence officer. Lonnie was released from active duty in 2002, but served 3 years in the Ready Reserves. And she was honorably discharged in 2005, so a little over 10 years ago. But Lonnie was a student. She got her Bachelor of Science in Math from the Naval Academy and got her MBA from College of William and Mary. So after her honorable discharge, Lanny decided she was going to start her own business. Surprise, surprise, right? Well, Miss Ambition here. But she says, I want a business that would be less likely than most startups. So she said, I'll become a federal contractor. You know, I can do it as a one person. I bring a lot of intelligence stuff. So and here's Lonnie's logic to this. She says, the leadership skills and strong sense of mission that I developed in military service would serve me well in founding my own company. Does that make sense? She had the leadership skills and she knew what the mission was, because that's what you're taught. Okay. So Lanny founded a company called Landmark Technologies, L-A-N-M-A-R-K, and Landmark provides a full range of information IT services solutions, specialized program management service, and administrative support. But she also did something else. She opened up her own production company, which produces factually inspired TV shows and documentaries related to the military. So she never forgot her military background. And she is the producer with Ridley Scott of a show called American Fighter Pilot. And she's got a new show coming out, which I really want to see. It's called Frog Woman. Yeah, so very, very clever. So how is Landmark Technologies doing today? Remember, she started out in 2005 as a one-person shop. All right.
On this Mother's Day, we have the story of one of our region's most accomplished young businesswomen and why she says her mother's struggles inspired her to succeed. Allison Starling introduces us to our working woman, Lonnie Hay.
I don't sleep much, which is probably something that has to do with it. But
it's hard to get more impressive than Lonnie Hay. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy, she realized a lifelong dream to become a naval aviator, gathering intelligence on reconnaissance missions. But she often struggled with outdated software and equipment and decided to do something about it.
Thanks for all of your support. And,
So after fulfilling her military commitment, Hay started her own IT company to help the Department of Defense and others find new intelligence gathering techniques. Now, 4 years later, that Fairfax company is worth $15 million and has 150 employees. Hay is just 31 years old and wants to be an example for children of all backgrounds.
in this country, they can be anything that they want to be. That America allowed me to build my life and become a multimillionaire by the age of 30. And I didn't come from a family that was wealthy. I didn't come from a family that had an important name.
In fact, Lonnie's first memories are of Vietnamese relatives living as refugees in her parents' Manassas, Virginia home, sleeping on the floor, living in tents in the backyard. Her mother helped 20 of them escape Saigon in 1975.
And whenever I feel like I'm in a situation that isn't going my way, I think back and I think, well, it can't be anything worse than what my family's already endured.
Hay says it's her mother, Mary, who is by far her biggest inspiration. She always taught her, dream bigger than what's in front of you, and if you can dream it, you can achieve it.
She is my guiding light and my biggest cheerleader, and she's always been there to pick me up when I've fallen.
I appreciate this country very, very much, to having her, you know, to raising her for me also. And every day that, you know, look at her, I feel like how lucky I am.
A mother and daughter, each with a lot to be proud of. Allison Starling, ABC 7 News.
Such a story of inspiration on this Mother's Day. Still ahead.
She now has 200 employees and over $40 million in revenue. Not bad for a child of immigrants with an allergy to bee stings. Okay. So I looked at that story, and I'm impressed, and I'm really looking forward. I don't know if I'd like American Fighter Pilot, but I'm looking forward to seeing Frog Woman and to learning more about Miss Lonnie. So normally I review this and I come up with my own lessons, but I got a question at the end. But I'm going to take the lessons directly from an interview that Lonnie gave. I think it was to Forbes magazine. She was identified as one of the top up-and-coming women CEOs under the age of 40. Here's two statistics that Lonnie gave, which kind of surprised me. And you guys can relate to this. She said veterans are 45% more likely than non-veterans to start their own business. Did you know that?
No, say that again?
Veterans are 45% more likely than non-veterans to start their own business.
Huh.
Wow, I just really okay. And then here, listen to this. She follows up. And on average, veterans have a higher 5-year success rate than their civilian counterparts. They start a business, and they're more successful than people who don't have the military training. So they asked Lonnie in this interview, why is that true? Why are they more successful? And I'm going to quote her word for word. Here's what she said. And there's two quotes. The first quote is this, and I think it says so much about Lonnie and what we have to work with in this country. Why are they more successful? Why are they more successful? She says, well, characteristics such as resilience, discipline and focus, willingness to collaborate, strong motivation, and strategic orientation, which are life-saving on the battlefield, can also be winners in a corner office. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Isn't that true? And then she said this next quote, which I like even better today. She says, the ability to quickly and decisively react to market forces, whether they are on the battlefield or in the boardroom, is what determines victory or defeat. And she got all of those skills in the military. In spades, because she went to the Naval Academy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So Miss Lonnie Hay, who always wanted to be a Blue Angel, and because of that damn bee, couldn't make it, didn't, I guess to say make lemonade out of lemons, that's unfair, because she had a great background. But she took what she had for skills and translated that into the business world. And I think she is a great role model for not only veterans, but female veterans. So here's my question that I'm going to leave my twin with today, and it's directed to you two guys. Yeah, you know it's going to come because that's the way I do. I stir the pot. Okay, with both of your military backgrounds, and with both of you having proven and highly desirable business skills, why aren't the two of you capitalizing and monetizing this opportunity to help our veterans even become more successful? Is there any group that we know of that deserves our support more than our veterans? And gentlemen, that's my twin for today.
Well, go for it, Dick.
Well, to a degree, I am.
Thank you.
As you may or may not know, I do a lot with the Disabled American Veterans, and I do volunteer work on Monday mornings at Cook Street. And I talk to a lot of veterans there, and I've talked to them about, starting their own business and all. And Legal Shield, probably again this year, the month of May, Memorial Day, has special veterans rates and programs that enter in the business world, and really does focus on it. I agree with what you're saying wholeheartedly, Frank, with the military background being such an asset to the business world and life in general. If you haven't gone through some of the horror stories that some of our troops are going through with PTSD and disabling injuries. But yeah, I agree with you, and I am doing some things to it. Maybe not enough, but some, yes.
No, again, I'm not trying to judge you, but I didn't know Legal Shield had that veterans program. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that promoted everywhere to veterans?
Yeah. I think it's going to be in May, Memorial Day, and it was promoted.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Legal Shield. Thank them. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
That is tremendous.
Yeah.
When you come out of the service too, Frank, not so much in my day, but I think more these days, they counsel the vets very heavily, what schools they can go into, what programs they got, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Mine was get out of here.
Oh, that was back then. But I didn't know that veterans are 45% more likely to start their own business.
I didn't either. I never heard that stat.
Well, you see a lot of these veteran startups on Fox News. They're bringing in people that have unique ideas. And I was just watching one. He was a Green Beret, and he started a company called Victory Gardens Across America. And he's helping people raise food and give food away, and to feed veterans and everybody for that matter. And he talked about the stats in World War II. America didn't have enough food to feed the armies. And so that's why Victory Gardens became so important, apparently, and it did something like times 6 our food output in America. But
again, my ADD is jumping in, so I'm interrupting you in the middle of your sentence, but you know me, that's what I do. The three of us, and I'm not a veteran, you two guys are, so if I can help you out if you want me to. But, we've given stuff on presentation at Purge, and we're willing to give it at Chambers of Commerce. Why don't we just give a presentation? Hey, if you are a veteran and you're thinking of starting your own business, now, here's some things you should know before you even start. Or here's some things to know after you start, or if you want to grow your business. Because the three of us have skill sets that we'll gladly donate. Just to say thank you. Right?
Right.
And there's a lot of veterans, and as you know, Dick, and you're a prime example, there's no age limit on how old you are to start a business.
No.
Right? And there's got to be veterans who either could use the money, could use the camaraderie of having somebody just to hang out and talk to, that they can relate to you guys more than they can to me, or just need something to do and make them feel good about themselves. Yeah. And I don't care if they want to, if whatever they want to do, whether it be Legal Shield or anything else, we can be of help to them, and I think it'd be a nice thing to do. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Frank, because one of the things that I've noticed in the almost 2 years now involvement with the DAV is I don't think the government and the military does a very good job of informing veterans as they're discharged. Maybe they do now, Peter, from what you're saying, but the ones I've talked to, they don't know what their benefits are. They don't know what they can do. I mean, they have, you sit down there and ask questions, and you say, well, did you do this? Oh, I didn't know I could. I mean, myself, I didn't know some of the benefits of being a veteran until I got involved. So something like that, you can almost do a dual purpose. One, say, hey, you're a retired veteran. Here are some of the programs and benefits that are available to you. And if you're just starting a business, then we can talk like we did at our last presentation. So probably not a bad idea. The thing is getting the audience. We have to figure out a way to get to enough veterans. And, with our connections, Peter, we should be able to do that with Cy and some of the guys there. So.
Yeah, but they're always looking for people to get in the DAV, as you well know. Where do you find them? We bump into them. They're completely, thrown to the wind.
Well, I think with Cy's connections with the management of the Veterans Administration at Loma Linda and all, he could put us in touch with somebody that we could say, here's what we want to do. Can you provide, if we give you the information, obviously we can't take their mailing list. Could you do a mailing for us or something like that? So, yeah, because, when Cy calls, the person that runs the DAV in this area jumps. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. When I was with him, he walked right into her office and she was busy, but she came out to see him. So it's a resource we could probably use to get the word out.
Very good. Very good. All right. Do you have any entrepreneurial lessons? I forgot to ask you, Dick.
Yeah, I have a lesson. Entrepreneurs don't do what I do.
Oh, you've been pretty successful.
No, I'm only kidding. I want to talk about innovation. And it really goes along with what you talk about at the beginning of every podcast, Peter, and Frank does, and what he does. And there's 2 quotes from Peter Drucker. It says, business has only 2 basic functions, marketing and innovation. The second quote is, innovation is a specific instrument of entrepreneurship. Okay, so what's the definition of innovation? It's something new or different introduced. Now, when we think innovation, at least I'll speak for myself. When I think innovation, I think of the big things, the iPhones and all these big deals you always talk about, and all the people, the leaders that do it. But innovation in our world, in our small business world, is really finding a better way to meet your customers' and clients' needs consistently. And, easily consistent and profitable innovation is what we're looking for. So it's the smaller innovations that we go by, some of the things that, we've done together, Peter, you've helped me out on, with the surfboards and booklets. Those are small. I guess we're using the higher, bigger technology innovations in our world to a smaller degree. So I think it's important that, that as a business owner, again, if it's just me or you have 10, 20, 30 people working for you, you have to constantly look at ways to innovate to better serve your clients on a more consistent basis. Excuse me. No. Oh, okay. That's another coughing fit coming on. And it has to be strategic innovation. It has to be easily implemented, consistent, and profitable. You have to ask yourself, does the client really care about this innovation? Because if he doesn't, and you care, you can innovate yourself out of business. So you really have to put it to the test and say, okay, if I do this surfboard and invest the time and money with Peter and get a, when I hand them out, do people really care? Well, so far the response I've gotten is yes. In fact, I handed it out to a lady that's probably going to become an associate of Legal Shield, and she's got a marketing background. She gave me some really good suggestion on how I can improve that. And so, yeah, you have to ask yourself, do they care what you're doing? If they don't, then it doesn't matter if you like it. If they don't, they don't. It's not going to matter. So I think as business owners, we have to develop an internal culture of innovation. And that requires strong leadership, vision across the business, the internal culture of the business, and culture which operates will influence the ability to innovate. People thrive in that culture. If you have people working for you, they thrive in the culture where you're listening to their suggestions. They're listening to their feedback. They're listening to your customers' feedback. They're saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. So I think it's important that, okay, so getting back to, I think the culture that you have to have in your company is that you're constantly looking for ways to innovate your service or your product to your customer in a meaningful way that they care about. And you have to do that. You have to be open to ideas. You have to listen to your employees. You have to listen to your customers. You know, like I say, this person yesterday morning, I met her for at Starbucks, and we were talking, and I given her the surfboard and the video. She watched it, and she said she was kind of taken back because I wasn't on it. She said, you handed it to me, and I thought you were going to be on it. And she recommended I do a personal intro before I get into the legal shield thing. I had to be open to that suggestion. Okay, I had to listen to her ideas. She's the client that I'm trying to serve. I had to be willing to listen to what she said, think it through. That's probably a very good suggestion. In fact, Peter, I already talked about it. And so you have to be willing to have the culture in your business to listen to the clients, listen to the people who work for you, and make sure you have a positive reaction. Not every idea is a good idea, but every idea should be talked through and discussed. And if it's not something you can apply, you have to let the person know, hey, keep them coming. This one just didn't work out, but keep them coming. And you have to go even to the point of changing your business model, to the point of saying, okay, I have to change based upon the feedback I'm getting. So I think it's important that you kind of keep an open mind that there are other ways to doing business. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, but you have to be willing to listen to them all. You have to attend events, you have to go to training, you take network opportunities. I mean, I am constantly doing those things because, I think with Peter's nudging, I got into the 21st century and started, learning these things. And I realized there's so much more out there that in my little cocoon here in Palm Desert, wasn't really getting involved with, wasn't willing to. So attend events, attend seminars to build your knowledge of innovation. A culture of continuous learning can be encouraged. We talked about that last week, how you should spend an hour a day educating and improving yourself. Explore network and mentoring opportunities. Look for people to help. I fortunate with Frank and Peter that I learn a lot every week just listening to their portions of the podcast. I take notes on our podcast, because there's some things I learn. And I think as a business owner, again, if it's a single person business or if it's a multi-employee business, you have to create the culture of innovation. And I am sure that 99% of the people on this podcast that are hearing it know who Peter Drucker is and was. The man was brilliant. And when he quotes, you have two basic functions, marketing and innovation. And innovation is a specific instrument of entrepreneurship. I listened. And I happened to see those quotes that got me thinking, and I did a little bit more research on that. So I'll just close with saying, create the environment that you yourself are open to learn, to innovate, to improve. Make sure the improvement is easily done, it's profitable, and your customer cares. If it's easily done and it's not profitable and your customer doesn't care, you'll innovate yourself out of business. So you take those steps, and I think I have fun doing it. I've had a lot of fun growing over the last couple of years. So that's my input, Peter.
Frank?
Yeah, I'm impressed with what that lady told you at Starbucks.
Yeah.
That was, man, you can see she's in marketing.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, man, and she's good. But man, I would hope she joins your team. She sounds like she's
yeah, she's going to join next week. And
excellent, man. And listen to her. That was an excellent idea.
It really was. When she said it, I said, wow. And she said, at the worst case, when you give it to someone, you should say, this is the person is a top leader of Legal Shield that's doing the presentation. She says, when I turned it on, I was kind of taken back that it wasn't you. And I said, why? She said, well, you handed it to me. I thought you were going to be presenting. So that was a very good input, yes. And a side note, she's a graduate of the USC School of Gordon Marshall School.
Oh, there's a connection for it right here.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and I told Dick that I said, hey, now that we're on Zoom, this would be the perfect format for him and I to come on, talk about the video. I can then show the video because it records and, with all the sound and everything. So pretty nifty,
Yeah.
And got somebody driving by that knows me here. So, yeah, anyway.
Well, just as an aside, I gave my first class last Monday, and I'm giving my next one a week from Friday, and it's, and again, we're not going to, it's a network marketing company, and my topic is the 4 mistakes that cost you money. And one of the mistakes is what that lady said to you, is that they're going out and they're promoting, I'll use the Legal Shield,
Right.
as opposed to promoting the Dick Bentley.
Yes.
Because if they don't buy you, they're not going to buy Legal Shield. In my case, it's the other company, and you've got to promote who you are and the value you bring, because you're going to be their interface.
Right.
Right. Anyway, so she was right on. That woman was right on.
Yeah. That's so true, Frank. Because she pointed out, she said, if when I sign up, because she said she signed up, she says, will you and I be working together? I said, yeah, we'll be working hand in hand. She said, well, that's good, because you introduced me to this, and I you have an experience. I want to make sure that you'll be with me on it. So I'm almost rethinking that whole video thing, Peter, to the point where maybe it should be all me and maybe you as an associate, explaining some things, rather than having the real formal pitch, because they can get that formal pitch on my website.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the introduction should be all personal with and Frank, whoever, just kind of do a discussion of Legal Shield and bring them in, because she also recommended, Frank, that at the back end I should get on and do a wrap up saying that, I'm sure you've watched this. Brian is one of the top producers of Legal Shield. I'm sure you have many questions. Please contact me at such and such. So I bookend it, open and close it. So.
Yeah, it really should be the Dick Bentley show. And oh, by the way, it's Legal Shield. Now, is Brian in your upline?
Yeah, he's the top of it. Yes.
Then for perfect closes,
yeah,
you saw Brian. Brian's part of our team,
right.
And that's what you access. When you join my team, you join Brian's team, and because they've already bought into you, they're going to buy into Brian. You're going to close with you.
Right.
Give my sign.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Good move. Good. Yeah. She was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, the other powerful thing I think that people don't know is, your background and why you started in Legal Shield.
Yeah.
In the homework that you've done.
Yeah.
You were a major player in a $1.3 billion company, the number 2 guy in marketing and sales there, number 1 guy actually.
Yeah.
And that's impressive.
Yeah.
And, for somebody like yourself with that background to go pick, I mean, you could have picked anything, but you picked Legal Shield for a reason.
Yeah.
And they should know that story.
Right.
So I think she may be more right than right.
Yeah, it is, and I think it just dovetails into what I talked about earlier is we came up with a really good idea, and we've gotten good feedback on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then someone really took the time to say, hey, I like it, and as a business owner, I had to be open to that. And I think it's important that anyone in a business listen to their clients. That's who you're trying to satisfy and get them to do business with you. And if they want more Dick Bentley, I'll give them more Dick Bentley. I mean, that's the bottom line. If they want more Peter or Frank, or if they want less, or what do they want? And that's really, whenever, I brought down my thinking of innovation, because I was always in the Steve Jobs cloud of innovation. But as a small business guy like myself, I should be in the Dick Bentley cloud of innovation. I should utilize all those things that have been innovated to help me do innovation for my business that satisfies my customers. So that's, I think the last couple of days have been a good learning experience for me. When I saw the Drucker quote and I got to thinking about it, then I met with this lady yesterday. I thought some more about it. And up until about 5 o'clock this morning, I had nothing for the podcast. And I was thinking about innovation. I said, well, dummy, I think this is a good subject for the podcast. So I worked on it this morning, and it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. So
Very good. Great subject. Great subject.
One of the things that when I used to do anyway, when I'd go in to make a CD-ROM or marketing piece for a company, I'd always interview the CEO, right?
Yeah.
And my first question to him almost was, why do people pay you money?
Yeah.
And he'll say, oh, because I have a PhD or I have all this experience or I'm smart, and none of that's true.
Yeah.
People pay you money because you add value in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stop adding value, they're going to stop.
That's right. They'll go to the next person that adds value.
Exactly. And so I think what you've been discussing is what value are you bringing to the table?
Absolutely.
Or in this case, what value does Legal Shield bring to the table?
Yeah.
And I always told you I always liked the idea of having my lawyer in my pocket, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Absolutely.
My wallet, the card, Legal Shield that I can call it any time. And especially with crazy days that they are today,
Yeah.
So, do you want to share anything on your letter, Dick, to the airline?
It has gone out to American Airlines. I wrote my letter. They sent back, the Parker Stanbury sent back their legal version, and obviously it was much better than mine, and it's gone out. So I'm waiting here. I will keep updating as we go along. Yes.
Yeah. And Frank, you want to update us on your business?
Yeah, we had I had my first international group webinar, training webinar on Monday. It was 6 o'clock here and 9 o'clock in Toronto. And it was, depending on where you are in Australia, 1 to 2 on Tuesday afternoon, or noon Tuesday afternoon in Australia. And it went well, and got some great feedback.
Good.
Gave an assignment and posted a video within, after Zoom converted, post up my Facebook page. People who could not attend have already watched the video and made comments, and they've already got their homework assignment. So thank you, Zoom.
Great.
Yep. No, it's this has been a great platform. So,
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No, I think that I just want to reiterate, because Frank said something that I'm really I realize I should be selling and marketing Dick Bentley and then Legal Shield.
Big time.
This came out of your comment. I was getting there, but not to the point that you brought me to. I'm the guy that they're going to do business with. I'm the guy that they're going to. So I really should change some of what my approach is based upon. Hey, here I am. You want to work with me or don't you, or not, type of thing. So
one of the statements I made in my pre-course video, I gave 2 pre-course videos that were shown again in Australia and Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of the videos I said, because we're talking about recruiting people. I was like, you're recruiting people, right? So you call them, you call them business.
Yeah.
And I said, the people you're meeting, they don't want a coffee, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's have a cup of coffee, and maybe we'll talk about our kids. And okay, fine. I don't give a crap about that. You know what they want? They want someone's going to lead them in a successful venture with your company. They want a leader more than a coffee buddy.
Yeah.
Sell your leadership, and you're in spades with a leadership,
Yeah.
which you did with Marshall, and they may decide not to join you, but it's not because you don't have the proven skills. You've already done it.
Right.
A multi-billion-dollar company.
No, I need to play to my strength.
Talk about you.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
No, by the way, I got this Legal Shield thing.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, but don't forget, Dick, you're almost the prize. I'm the real prize.
By the way, Peter, I talked about that statement on Monday night when I talked about. There's this guy in Salton Sea. He thinks he's the prize, but I
am the prize.
talked about
Yeah.
that. So it was good.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, great. Well,
All
then I'll stop recording here. Hang on. I'm watching all my little hummingbirds out here. Boy, do I have a flock of hummingbirds.
The last couple of days have been a learning experience for me, which is always good. Kind of talk about that process. If you become an associate, here's what you can expect from me.
To say, hey, Dick, where the hell are you?
Yeah.
Why you give me this to promote this guy named Brian? You're the one I'm going to be working with. This lady, I love what she said. And
Yeah.
The other thing, Dick, I think that people don't realize is that you'll help them close people.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
And you put it on your property tax as a voluntary tax thing, and you pay your property tax, so you get to write off 100% of your investment.
Okay, I'm going to say, yeah, don't stop recording.
He says, well, I'm in solar. And I thought, oh, Jesus, another solar guy. And he's solar. He has a real estate broker's license. He's a contractor and all. And what he goes as an independent person to a homeowner, and he will do the total package of solar. If your house needs repairs, landscaping, if you're going to move, he'll prepare all that, do it all. And I don't know how he does it, but he has a way that you don't pay for anything.